Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tell Me Why by Madex. Today, we have a very special guest. This guy is a money managing expert. He's a stock investor, and he just knows everything about the things that we don't. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our dear friend, Harsh Patel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome. We forgot to say where Harsh is from. Do you want to add that, please?
I'm from originally I'm from India, like the west part of India, state called Gujarat. I came here like 12 years ago.
Before we dive into the questions, Harsh, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. We're very glad to have you today. What was your first fear today that you experienced when you woke up? You had fear.
The first thing I thought about was like I had to show up here. This is one of my, I wouldn't say biggest, but it's up there. Talking in front of the larger audience or talking in front of the camera. I mean, one reason being is English is not my first language. I really came to this country like not knowing how to speak a word of English.
Wow.
And I really taught myself how to like not only talk, but to talk like pretty much someone who's from here.
I know that you are more interested to see what is the questions there and what you're going to pick here.
We should dive in.
This is, as you know, we do not know what question you're going to pick, and we will just go.
Yeah.
I'm going to set the timer.
Oh yeah, we're going to have a 10
for 10 minutes. This topic.
Yeah, go on.
And we're going to go
whichever you want.
Dive into the bowl.
All
Let's
right.
see.
The Tell Me Why bowl.
We do really need to have a drum.
All right, there you go.
No, you read.
I'm going to read that.
Yes. You're reading it too.
All right, I'll do
Totally. Yes.
All right.
All right, the question is, only 35% of Americans talk about money with their friends and peers
Okay.
and would rather discuss more marital conflicts,
Marital conflict.
marital conflicts, mental illness, drug addiction, and religion. Why is that?
All right.
So
Money related
America
question.
doesn't talk about money.
Okay.
Huh. Why do you think America doesn't talk about money? Or society in general?
I feel like it's changing. I don't know if you guys are paying attention or to the TV or what's going on in the financial world or like in the last few years. I think it's changing. People are waking up. They are paying attention to like where their money is going in terms of like their savings, their retirement money. They're paying more kind of like attention to the media, like what's going on into the financial markets. They're being more aware. I think it has to do with one of those things where like they have more access to the platform or tools of investing, such as like Robinhood. Like before, if you had to invest your money or if you had to put your money into like financial market, like the first thing was like, oh, where do I go? How do I do that? How do I open an account? So right now, like they have made it easier where it's a finger of like on your phone. You click it, like you download the app called Robinhood. You put some money in it, and there you go, boom. Like you can start putting your money into one of your favorite companies.
But it's not so much about. Yes, this is definitely a very good point that it's much easier to invest, right? But it's more like when I go to see you, let's say we are going to get a drink together, right? I'm not going to talk about money. I'm not going to ask you, Harsh, how much do you make? Nor do I tell you that I make this much money. So we don't really talk as a society, talk about the salary or the amount of money we have. We talk about very personal things, like the marriage is going wrong, my sex with my wife is not going very well.
Okay.
Or politics.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't really, and we are just curious to see why is that we hide. Money is a topic that, don't say other people, that how much money you make.
So if you ask me personally, I am the kind of person like I want to carry myself where if I'm making hundreds of millions of dollars, I would come off to you that I'm only making hundreds of thousands. Because I always want to carry myself where I come as like completely opposite of being a flashy, completely opposite of being like trying to show off. That's just who I am as like I was raised.
So do you think
be.
it's a show off? Like for example, if I come and I'm wondering if it is a show off or is a fear. Like it's just like, do I have a fear? Like I'm not allowed to go and ask my friend how much do they make?
Okay. So
it's because I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I mean, go ahead.
I think society puts value on an individual based on how much they make. That's my perception. I think like if the reason we don't say, okay, I'm a dentist and I make $100,000 a year, and then this person's an administrative assistant and they make $50K a year, that dentist is going to judge the assistant by, okay, your contribution is $50,000 a year. That's what you make. That is how much you are putting towards society. I think society is putting the value on the person, and that's where we're wrong. It's not based off of, that's why our employment that we get every year is not public. You don't know how much your coworker makes. I don't know.
No, it's always like at least in the corporate world, you have no idea.
You don't know.
If I get this job, will I get 10K raise or 20K raise, and no one talks about it.
Nobody talk about it.
And I love what you said though. Like it's like that. If I say I earn 100K, then people look at me as a person whose worth is 100K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like why do you want to like look at people?
Then like that society is not putting that on you. You are contributing this amount. But Mark Zuckerberg, who makes billions of dollars a year, even though he wears a t-shirt and jeans every day, what is he contributing to the entire world?
I mean, it's
but it's a lot.
Meta.
It is a lot, and his value is equal to a lot. So I think.
Well, I think rich people talk about money. I think when you reach to a certain level that you're really confident, then you talk about billions and the money you make, right?
Right. Like there's no taboo when you have the billions, you have the millions. Of course, they talk about it, right?
Do you feel comfortable to do that? For example, let's say if I come and say that, Harsh, how much do you make every month?
Nah. Because to me personally, like. When you ask me something, I'm gonna always answer you first as a person. Like you're asking me like directly about myself. To me, it comes as like I'm kind of bragging off, showing off my money, and I'm scared of him, like the one upstairs, that he's gonna punish me. Because there are a lot of unfortunate people in the world that they don't want to see you on camera or anywhere you talk about, you brag about your money, because they don't know where the next meal's coming. So you want to be as much humble as you can be.
So it's like an empathy and just like being compassionate.
Humble.
So you don't
I like the word humble.
Yes.
But I've heard sometimes, and is that some people are saying that if you say you make 100K and you be out loud about it, there's some, what is it called, like wrong belief that then God is going to take your money away. Like if you show off with your money instead of I'm making $1 million, it's just like a karma. Like if people should not know you make $1 million, otherwise God is going to take it from you.
So like you can't say like what you just said. Kind of what I believe in different wordings.
Okay, say this. Yeah,
I don't really believe he's gonna take my money away, but it's kind of one of those things where it goes against what he's teaching me or what he's telling me what to do in life, what my purpose is. Because I truly believe he's within me, he's inside of me. So I don't want to come off where like, oh, I'm making this much, blah blah blah, or I'm like doing this much. Because it's just one of those things that's personal to me. I don't want to let anybody know what I do or how much I do. It's none of their business. As long as I live comfortably, that's all that matters to me.
So go on, please.
I was just thinking that it's interesting. I don't think God would judge a humanitarian for donating to a cancer organization, publicly donating $1 million, right? So you've let the world know I have this money. I'm donating it to a good cause. Is God judging you and saying you shouldn't do that? No.
I think again, Harsh is coming from a place of empathy and being humble, of just saying that there are other people who don't get it, and it's not from a place of fear. At least to some degree, it's not as much fear. It is still fear related because you're saying God may just judge you and not like you.
Of course,
definitely fear related.
And to your point, you can always give $1 million by being anonymous. You don't have
That's true. You don't have to say
like where is it coming from.
Yeah.
It's just that again, I don't know if it's a good thing to do or not, because yes, in reality, if I know that someone else who is not doing really so much work is getting 5 times more salary than me, then life is going to be more hard. It's going to be more suffering. I'm like, where am I getting this much money? But if we go one layer below that, get to the point that unfortunately we value our worth equal to the money we make. I think that's where it gets to our skin. That when we think that my value is based on how much money I'm making, so I shouldn't really publicize this, or I shouldn't know other people, because if someone is making 500K, means they are more skilled and more talented, and I'm not. Whereby I may be an artist that all I care about is an art that I do. Maybe I'll be someone that I want to go to Africa and just help other people rather than just making money and being an influencer.
People are defining their worth from how much they make.
Yeah.
They're defining themselves, and that's
I mean, honestly, truly, that question was kind of controversial because to me, I think a lot of people do show off or tell, or they want to say
Then
the
they're
world.
big.
Not even like there are certain areas of where if you go, like even though they're making certain amount of money, they want to come off they're making 10 times more. Like
Perception.
yeah, so
Yeah, people who don't have money, they buy flashy
I'm
things
telling you,
and,
like
and
people
brand
who
names.
has money, they don't really talk much. They know what they have, so they don't have to like show it to anybody. They know they
That's like Jay-Z. He's not going around flaunting.
Saying that how much money.
And even when they do some stuff, they just do it because it makes them happy. They're not trying to show off. They're just doing it because that's what makes them happy. So, like, truly, like, the question is kind of a little bit, like, to me, like, it's controversial.
Yeah. Well, all
which is good.
Yeah, okay, that's a good thing, though.
Tell me why.
How much left? We can go for the next
We
question.
have literally 60 seconds left. So if there's anything we want to say
anything more
about
money?
This topic.
Nothing. People should be aware, like, where their money's going. Like, your retirement money, IRA, like, pay attention. Like, don't just go to the financial analyst and, like, be like, oh, here, handle it. You can just do your own research. Open the account and, like, read about the companies and put your money where, like, you know, like, where you think it should be going.
We need that session with you, please.
Yeah.
We definitely need the money session. My money comes and goes away. All right. Okay, next question.
All right, here we go.
Okay. It's okay. Which one? We need to get a bigger bowl.
Yeah, we're gonna get a bigger bowl.
Okay.
Okay, so this is interesting.
Okay.
Do you think sex is a physical desire or spiritual desire, or both?
Ooh, dun,
Okay.
dun.
So the question is, if sex is physical desire,
Spiritual
desire, or both?
I think it's both.
Me
I
too.
think it's both. Yes.
Tell us more about it.
Yes. So, I mean, as a guy, like, I don't want to get into all this sexist, controversial.
This is a very open mic, so we go very just
anything.
talk how you would talk with no censoring here.
Okay, so I mean, to me, it's like it's both because physical at first, because it's one of those things that I have needs for sure. As a guy, like you know, like you always get attracted to like these fine, beautiful women, and then when you see them, like you want to make. Get in touch with them, make love to them, of course. Like, you know, there's nothing that it's like more exciting to you as a guy than like thinking about like these beautiful women.
Yes.
But at the same time, you do want a sacred connection with someone that you are truly attracted to and like someone that you think like truly understands you as a person. So it's like, when it comes to that one person, like it is more like spiritual because you're trying to connect with that person like more than just being physical. I don't know if I make any sense.
Oh, it totally makes sense.
100%
physical and
you want something beyond just the physicality.
Yeah. So like at first when you're like single, you're just not worried about nothing. You're young. You wanna like explore. You wanna be with a lot of women. Then yeah, it's more physical. But when you get to a certain point in your life and you're thinking about like more than like just being physical, like you're looking for meaningful relationships, like where you can see that person being mom or dad of your kids. So then you start thinking about like, okay, like what about my future? What about my kids? What about like I want that person to be mom or dad of my kids. So then you become like more spiritual about that topic. So I don't know what you guys think about it.
No, So my question is, so here's what we are not expert here in the wood of sexuality, right? Women have very different type of orgasm, right? So when it comes to sex, right? At least from my own standpoint, from my own experience, right? When I have sex, we are not as much physical. At least my experience as a woman is not as much physical. It's not like that I'm going to see a woman, I date woman. I'm like, oh my God, I really want to have sex with that person. It's just not that there. But when I have sex with someone and I have an orgasm physically, it's just about my physics.
Okay.
Right? When it comes to my spirit, it's just that connection is no longer about just the physical, like the body, because you touch the body, there's an experience, right? We all have nerves in every single of our body.
Yes.
So if you touch my hand, if you touch every part of my body, there is an experience that I'm going to have, and I'm going to have a release of physical body. But then the one which is more meaningful to me, even if it's not about marriage or anything, is about that spiritual part, which is like you are not penetrating my physical body, you are penetrating my soul.
Okay.
And that's why I said that it's possible to do physical, it's possible to do it in a spiritual, but the preference for many, at least my experience of people that I know around me for women, is getting to that spiritual level of it, to just connecting that.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Which is not only one way or another way.
For me, I think it's a little bit of what Harsh is saying and what you're saying for me personally, because I can meet someone for the first 5 minutes and envision myself being physical with them, envisioning being sweaty and inside each other.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's which I don't have it, which is the funny part, which is I don't have that.
There's this connection that you have with someone, and it's instantaneous. But there is no spiritual feeling that I have because I don't know this individual. I don't know their soul. We don't have this direct connection. But as an animalistic, from an animalistic perspective, like which most men have, I'm totally,
all humans have,
all
men and women have.
Men
so
and women
we're not
have.
picking on men, yeah.
But it's more apparent that it's just physical, right? And then when I get an emotional level with an individual, that's when you're touching my soul when I have an orgasm. It's like I can't give that release unless I know that there is an emotional connection, and not necessarily that I can see myself marrying you or having children, but that it has to be an emotional balance where there's something about you and I, whether it's like a kindred spirit or I don't know, we connect on a humorous level, something there.
Go on.
That's how for me, where it's a spiritual level. It's I'm outside of my body. I'm having an orgasm, but it has nothing to do with my body. It is time and space have left me.
Yeah.
When I'm having that orgasm.
What I'm curious, and I hope this is not being not very educated, I guess, asking this question, Harsh, but because I have never been in a body of a man, nor have I been in a mind of a man. When you say physical experience and spiritual experience, for a woman, I understand them, right? Because it's just I've been in that experience. How is it for you? When you have, do you see the difference? Do you feel the difference?
If you can like
for example, more. Like let's say that before you find the love of your life, you had sex with just college student, like you just went and you had sex, and it was good.
Okay, yeah.
And then now you're with your love, someone that you're really spiritually getting connected, and you make love and you have orgasm. Do you experience the difference?
So let me.
That's
a good question. So I would say that the spiritual part of the physical connection or physical part or physical connection, it comes with a time. Like, some people will say like, oh, I love this person, like love at first sight, blah blah blah, and they're like, oh, I'm like in love with that person, like that's my person. But I'm not sure if it's that easy. I'm not sure if people know if it's that easy. I think like sometimes like you'll see couples like they're together for like few months and they're like, oh, we love each other, or like a year. Oh, we know everything about each other.
Lesbians do that a lot.
Sounds familiar. Sounds really familiar.
Yeah. So, but then my pushback to that thing is like, I'm not sure if that's the same like perspective you're gonna have in a few years.
Absolutely.
Because I personally think it takes more than like least few years to know a person, literally. So I think the spiritual part comes with like being so much in sync with your person, being like so close to your person in terms of like so much about the person, like in terms of like what tickles them, like what gets them mad, what gets them hangry, what gets them hungry, or like the special characteristic of a person, like where like what is the weak point of that person that before the person even speaks. So all these things that comes, it comes with the time. So the more time that you kind of drain in a relationship, I don't want to say drain, but like put in a relationship, spend, the more spiritual it becomes.
Absolutely. So do you, this is again, just in the moment of that you're going to reach the orgasm, do you know the difference?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's just because
feel the
you
difference.
feel the difference. They're so different. Like as a woman's point of view, it's absolutely different. My physical orgasm is fun, but the spiritual orgasm is like whoa, like as what she
It's
said, no
beyond,
space, no
it's
time,
nothing.
nothing. I'm like, whoo.
Do you feel
Hey.
that too?
I don't think so. As a man, you don't have.
That's what
Oh, and so this is like a release, and that's
So it's always good.
So it's spiritual. Like you want to make sure. Yeah, it is always good. So
No, I mean, both of them are good. One of them is just wow.
no, there's
No?
no such difference. No, not really. So as your person that you're with and you having a physical intercourse,
Mhm.
you're making sure the other person's as much in like kind of having
In
a
the game.
good time.
Yeah.
Or like if she's reaching the orgasm, but if you're just having like a casual like physical intercourse, you don't really care about that person. Like it's all about you. Like
Oh my
honestly. So.
I don't know what that's like, really.
We are not being against
Wow.
men. It's just
No.
the differences we have.
It's
differences that
fascinating.
we have. Well, like again, I've never been, and this is not generalization. This is
No,
Harsh
I'm just
experience.
saying, like,
This is
I'm being honest
and
with
I
you.
love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being so candid, because for us, like,
Yeah.
and I do tell her, like, there are times that we are two women and we make love. There are times that when we just make love and I come and I tell her this was my physical orgasm, and it's very clear. It's just like
And I'll
in
know.
that moment,
I'll
she
know
knows
too.
that.
I'll know.
But when we are like, it's a lot of connection in that moment. And
Yeah.
one reason is, I guess, because we are two women and we understand each other a bit more in depth. But when you are a man and woman, you will need to have a lot more conversation. Is that an accurate statement? What do you think?
It's because, well, the book, what's the book of Venus, or men are from Mars, women are from Venus? That's the whole point.
It's just that because I know your body, because at least I know my
Yeah.
body. Like for me, if I sleep with a man, I have no idea of what's good for them. Like I need to really investigate, learn
Yeah.
what part it is. So for me, it's just I assume that whatever I have, you have, so it's similar. Like,
But I feel like it's the same thing when it comes to like a man being with a girl or a woman. It's just like a guy, if he had a sex with a girl before, he knows how to satisfy all the other girls.
Yes.
It goes the same pretty much.
because you learn about the body and then you
Yes,
just have to
yeah.
just
It's
have
really
that.
not.
I mean, I
that-
don't know all the girls though.
It's
just
through
maybe
experience, though.
Through experience.
Uh,
All right, this
uh,
was a very fun topic. Okay, next one. Let's see what do we have.
Now that we had
Woo!
sexy time,
I know. Saturday.
watch it get
Okay,
political or
let's-
something.
All
Whatever
right,
the
there you
universe
go.
is feeling.
All right.
I like the
Let's
last
see.
one was good.
That's
Really
good.
good.
So why are NFTs are becoming the future, and will they be considered taboo? Oh, okay.
It's so
Okay.
funny that you get a question that is about money. But okay, talk about it. What is NFT? Tell us. Enlighten us.
Yeah, what is that?
So, like, in easiest of the terms, people out there just to understand what NFTs are. The word itself is kind of fancy, non-fungible token,
Mm-hmm.
NFT. But
And fungible means you cannot transaction
you
it. Like
can,
just,
so you cannot change it.
okay.
Its original form.
Okay.
It is what it is, and
Like I cannot
Like
sell
$5
these
bill.
to you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your okay.
basically,
Okay,
yes.
got it. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so basically, it's kind of a receipt of let's say like you and your other person are married, right?
Okay.
So what's the NFT of you guys being married? Your marriage certificate.
Mhm.
That's your NFT saying you guys are married.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but basically, it's like a record
Mm-hmm.
of like stating that you guys are together,
Got
you
it.
guys are married.
Mm-hmm.
So your marriage certificate of like any couple, that's an NFT.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's a record. So basically,
In the future, probably there will be an NFT.
There are
certificate.
going to be.
Just like, you know,
So it can't be
your
duplicated.
birth certificate
Yeah,
will be your
yeah.
NFT.
So what NFT does, like the technology does, is like it stores your marriage certificate online. Like computers are storing your record, like your record of being together, being like your marriage. It's stored in a system in the cloud
Mm-hmm.
by computers, and no one can change it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much like, let's say if it's yours, it says it like it's yours. You own it.
And it's like, it's just, yeah, there's no touching in it. It's not like it doesn't lose the value. It is going to be always just there. The certificate is always there.
So to say it again, it's just a pretty much you cannot change the receipt, like whatever. Let's say
Identity.
this cup, right?
Yeah.
And you are saying like, I love the design, I love how it looks, and I want to like make an NFT out of it. You can. Basically, you can just take a picture of this thing, put it online, and then create a basic, like a simple contract for the cup. And then you can put for a sale, and whoever wants to buy it, they will buy the ownership of the cup. And basically, who gets it, who pays for it, it'll stay stored online in the cloud that they own the cup. The design, the way it looks, and everything about the cup.
Got it.
So that's pretty much NFTs. Like, the technology itself.
So how would it work then? I may be getting a little technical.
No, that's fine.
So if I got these off of Etsy.
Yeah.
I took a photo of this and I made it into an NFT.
Yeah.
Now, how does the owner of who made the glass contribute towards the NFT? Do they own part of this NFT because they made the design? I didn't make it, but I made the NFT.
Okay.
So how does that work?
So that's when the technology comes in place, right? So if you're the owner of any art,
if I take a photo and I make an NFT.
Yeah. Okay. So you dictate whoever buys. If you this first original buyer, let's say if he ends up selling this thing, so you dictate in the contract that how much percentage you get out of that transaction.
Okay, so I would be the overall owner of that.
Yes, you are.
They would get a portion, correct?
Yes,
because they made this design.
Yes,
I didn't make this design.
But then you get to put that in the contract, as I said.
Okay.
Every NFT has their own contract.
Got it. Okay.
And the contract states what the NFT stands for.
Okay.
In terms of the ownership, in terms of how much pieces it should be out there, if it's one or multiple, whatever.
Okay.
It's always one. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying the rules are set in the contract.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty much not an expert in the field of NFT, but I know just the outside layer of a little bit knowledge.
So the question was that why is NFT is the future?
Why is it the future, right?
Yeah,
why is this going to be? Is this the next internet?
Sure. I'm not too sure if it's the future.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good technology. It has its own pros and cons. It definitely has its technological advantages, but I'm not sure that it is the future in terms of that's the next Apple or that's the next Google.
As an investor, do you have any fear that NFT may just really overcome on this investing right now? The concept of investing is really all is about the stock market, right? Do you think NFT can have any impact on that?
NFTs and cryptos are more hyped about right now because I'm not sure you guys or our audience understands the cycle of money, how it works. So right now the rates to borrow money, interest rates that you borrow from the Federal Reserve of America, it is so low, in terms of almost barely, it's zero. So the pretty much money cost to borrow it's minimal or minimum. It's nothing. It's zero. So that's why money is flowing so easy through the system. There's so much money in the system right now. So it's money's looking for a house to pretty much to get some kind of. I'm trying to use easier terms to understand,
Please,
or to explain. It's so money's looking for wherever it can get extra more than few percent because there is no interest right now. If you want to borrow money to buy a house, you're paying zero, almost zero.
Okay.
I don't want to say zero absolute zero, but it's nearby. So the point I'm trying to make is the cost of money right now is so absolute nothing. So that's why these assets NFT, the crypto assets, they're kind of, I don't want to use the word bubble, but it is bubblicious because it's when money is not costing nothing to these investors, the bankers, they rather put the money into something where they're gonna get something out of it instead of just sitting there in the bank where they're not gonna get nothing.
I see.
Because there's no saving interest, or there's no interest you get it. Just put in the money in the bank. You rather put the money somewhere, you might get something out of it.
Okay.
Basically.
So what can we, if we want to become rich, what can we do?
How do we,
That's much deeper than that.
how do we be smart with our money? What's the first thing you would recommend?
I feel you gotta know what aligns with you, personally, what interests you, what is something that's you're passionate about, right? You don't want to just blindly follow people. You don't want to just like it will work in the cycle that we are in right now.
Yeah.
But the cycle might end any time, literally.
Mm-hmm.
That as soon as the Federal Reserve of America like they raises the interest on the money, all this asset's gonna come down crashing because this is the result of them being like so flexible with the policies they're making.
Yeah.
So basically, my long story short answer is you need to know yourself, like who you are as a person. Like if you find a passion in your lifetime, you're lucky enough to like pursue it, and then with that passion,
And that's how you learn, right?
Yes.
How did you get to investment?
Basically, yeah, it's one of those things where I had no idea what I was doing with my life, and
I'm sure pretty much many
Pretty
people
a
are
lot.
in that
Yeah.
situation right now.
yeah, so I had no idea. Like after my college, I got my degree, and then I was kind of struggling, like grasping for air. Like I don't know what I was gonna do. So my friend, my girlfriend at that point, which is like she's my wife right now. She's the one who introduced me to this Groupon that she bought for me for my birthday. And at first,
It all started with a Groupon.
so I didn't even open.
Maybe I should get you a Groupon for some investing.
NFTs.
I was like, why is she like emailing me my birthday gift? Like, come on, she could have gotten me something like better. So I didn't even like pay attention at first. For a week, I didn't open the email.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, nah, because I had like so much more stress in my life trying to figure out like what am I doing.
Aww.
So then I finally opened the email, and then there you go. It was like saying happy birthday, Hirsch. And I click on it, and it's a Groupon. Pretty much introductory course on like how to like basically like the introduction of financial market. How do you look at the markets? How do you like buy some like stocks, or how do you invest into like options and all that stuff? So I pretty much went through the Groupon like right away when I like opened it. Before that, I had no idea like about the markets. How do you put your money into stocks? How do you buy a company? Blah blah blah. I was like as naive as the next person. So ever since I went through that Groupon, I know like it sounds very cheesy when I say it that I went through that and like I was in love with it. But that's the true story.
Yeah.
I was really in love with what I saw or what I read.
You just started it one course after another course. And
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things like it's self-taught. Anyone out there who, if you ever want to start like investing or like in the financial markets, the best advice I can give you is just open an account, right? With TD Ameritrade or E-Trade or any of the biggest brokerage accounts. And then start with a simulator. It's called simulator. It's a fake money that you can open the account with.
Oh wow.
So basically you can practice, you can just like watch them during the 9 to 4 regular market hours, see how that works. Like any company that you read about, you have any interest in, like buy their stocks like with the fake money and hold it for a few months and see how it goes and like, gain the confidence that way. Once you get a little confident, and then put the real money and then see how it goes.
Oh, that's amazing. And what I love, so I want to make sure we cover this one also as well, that you are doing what you love. It's not that you went to investment and you didn't become money expert because you wanted to have more money. You're doing what you love.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not like I'm doing this because there's money.
Yeah,
it's just this is what you're doing.
Just the back part, like right now when we're talking and the way we're talking, it sounds so easy. Me sitting in the chair, wearing all these fancy clothes. Okay, yeah, but it wasn't that easy.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I struggled. Like, I struggled to the point where, not that I have to say, but I'll say it. Like, I was broke. Like, I didn't have no money to even eat. Like, it's not that easy. It comes with the passion that you have. You gotta have a passion for something that you do. And that's what my original question to her, my answer to her question was, you gotta find or you gotta know yourself, like what you're good at or what you like to do. Because when you are struggling, the only thing matters is whether you're doing what you're doing, whether you love it or not. If you love what you're doing, the struggle won't be struggle. You will look at it like as a struggle. You'll keep going at it because that's not a struggle to you. You like the process of doing that. So my only thing I tell anybody is even if it takes, no matter how long it takes, find what you're good at. It's not about like how fast you get it. It's about how good you get it.
How do you overcome fears? You had fear past 6 years, right, in the beginning?
No, I didn't actually.
You don't know?
I didn't. Like honestly, like I just kept going at it. Like even though every morning I'll wake up and then I knew that I had no money in the account to do anything. But to me, it's like I'm doing something that I like to do, I love to do, and no matter how, like I'm gaining the knowledge that people cannot see. Like the only person that sees is me. That I'm getting better. Like some stuff that I see today that I didn't see it like a few years ago. And how did I get to this point? By just following or sticking with it. You gotta stick with it. Find something that you love to do, and then you get the confidence. I'm not saying I'm confident, but I mean, 100 times,
Own it.
you ask me that question, I'll say I'll take love of my life over $10 million.
Yes.
That confidence will come. You got to go through the process. Like a diamond doesn't become diamond. It's a stone, but it goes through such a like crazy fire or heat and all that, and then it comes out like very shining, like beautiful object. So
I love that metaphor.
Find what you love to do. Honestly, like no matter how long it takes, you gotta dig deeper, and you have to do what makes you happy.
Perfect. It was really such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you
Thank you so much. And we will be coming back soon again. Always remember to ask question,
why?